Hey, everybody. Welcome to another edition of Gruber Wired. I'm Mark Beach.
I'm John Dotson, and yes, welcome again.
We're back for another one.
Here we go again, right? Repeat.
It's Phoenix Open Week.
Yes, it is.
How about that? And the weather's perfect this year.
Oh, we got perfect weather. So we're just topping out right about the 80-degree mark, and it feels great out there.
Everybody's out there enjoying the beautiful Chamber of Commerce weather.
Is that what you're calling it?
Yeah.
Chamber of Commerce.
Chamber
weather.
of Commerce. Yeah, it's good stuff.
But yeah, lots of celebrities in town for that. My cousin just got a picture out there yesterday of Jelly Roll.
Yeah, he
there.
had a concert last night.
Yeah.
It started at 9 o'clock. Luke Bryan's out there tonight.
Luke Bryan? Oh, wow.
Yeah,
Nice.
and then Nickelback's tomorrow night.
There you go, Nickelback.
There you go. How about that, huh?
Yeah, Nickelback, what crazy. They have this huge following, and then they don't have a following. I don't know what it is with Nickelback. I've never had a problem with them. I like their music. Can't complain.
Totally okay with them.
So, yeah. Wow.
So, yeah, it's good stuff.
Yeah, so lots of things going on in the news recently, right?
Yep.
And trying
We
to...
were right about the little DeepSeek, by the way. Yeah.
That DeepSeek is heading south now, right?
Yeah, there's like a bill in Congress or something to make it federal crime to even have it on your phone.
Yeah, it's amazing that, how quick they come out to the punch and then fall right off. So,
yep.
Yeah, but we figured it out pretty quick. I mean, the American people did, everyone did.
We were ahead of the curve.
A little bit ahead, right? Just a few days ahead.
There you go.
Today's show, we're going to be talking about things like that. Fake news, misinformation, scams, all these things and all this information that's out there that we absorb every day. We're so quick to really think that this is true, right? We read something instantly and we go, oh, wow, yeah, look what just happened.
Well, yeah, and the opposite angle of it with, now that Meta's gotten rid of their fact checkers, which I think is a good thing.
Yeah.
People were quick to say, oh, that's not true.
Yeah.
What did Senator Kennedy say just a few weeks ago? You're going to have to get some more conspiracy theories because ours all done come true. Or something like that. Right?
Hey, we got Major Tom chiming in there. That all sounded like misinformation. Wow. Is he talking about misinformation from us? We'd never do that.
I don't know. It sounds like your little writing buddy.
Thank you, Major Tom. Feel free to chime in anytime you like. And any of you out there, we love the idea of people,
Doesn't mean we have to repeat it on the air, though.
No. That is very true.
Right.
But feel free, chime in. We like the discussion.
Yes, we do. And, especially in the political world, people are so quick to either dismiss something because it sounds fantastical, or they are too quick to believe it.
Yeah.
We, just like with anything in life, I mean, do your research, right? At the end of the day, you are responsible for what you buy into and what you dismiss. I don't have, any trusted resources that I take full on as being 100% unless I've seen it in other places and confirmed it.
Sure.
Obviously, we don't have the resources to actually go source document on a lot of stuff, but we do have the ability to kind of analyze where things are. And we're going to talk about some of those steps and what, we do and what to look out for.
Yeah, and one of the things about that is just everybody looks at it differently.
Yep.
Right? And we all process things and this information into our brains differently.
Right.
Recently, they did a study. The brain can actually only continue to run at and take in about 10 bits per second.
Okay.
Not a lot of information can we absorb.
10 bits?
I think that's what it is, 10 bits. I'd have to look it up, but yeah, right around that. Look it up on your phone.
Let's fact check that. Anybody out there want to fact check that one? Go ahead and I'm going to call
Jesse could look it up for us.
Yeah, I'm gonna call shenanigans on that.
I'm going to say it's very low. It's extremely low, the amount of information that we can take in.
Right.
But there's a lot of information and a ton of information we're absorbing, but we can only comprehend a very small amount of that to make sense of.
Sure.
And so what you may comprehend out of the same article is different from my comprehension of it. And that's where you start to see that kind of come in. Is this real? Is this fake? Because you'll have an opinion based upon it, and I will have a separate one.
Well,
I got it.
Yeah. Yeah.
I looked it up.
Yeah, what is it?
Google's AI says 10 bits per second.
Yeah, 10 bits per
Wow.
second. Not a lot. So knowing that, right?
10 bits. That doesn't even sound possible.
Well, that's only because you're processing 2 bits per second. You're not up to the average.
Whoa.
Yo.
Hey,
See,
is that
that's
where we're
the
going to
issue.
go? Is that where we're going to go, John? Okay.
Right?
You're a witness. You're a witness. He just threw down. Okay.
So,
Okay.
okay, we can go there. So anyway, knowing that you do take in only about that much information, we are all trained differently to take and absorb bits of those bits of information, right? So you might recognize color where I recognize a subject and so forth.
Can you say that again? Because I don't understand.
Here we go. So yeah, no, but this information's out there, right? And we're trying to decipher if it's fake or if it's real.
I think the most telling factor are the lenses that we see things through,
Yeah.
more than, based on experience, based on personal knowledge. We tend to hone in on things that make sense to us, right? And kind of align with what we already think. So being a critical thinker, being introspective, understanding, where your biases may lie, and then trying to view things in a framework that challenges, your understanding of it, I think is healthy. I think we all like to know why we believe what we believe. What's you smirking for? What's going on? Huh?
Nothing.
What?
Nothing.
What'd you do?
You're good.
No. What'd you do?
See, I'm letting that 2 bits per second work there. So yeah, anyway. You're right. A lot is based upon our perceptions.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Okay.
So why don't you pull up picture number 1 for us? Let's dive into that. It's there somewhere. There we go. So when you're taking a look at the information coming across, whether it's, in the news or through email, which we see a lot of this, in our emails.
Right.
You take a look and try and identify whether something is fake, real, if it's a scam, and, something that's coming your way. So number 1 right there says suspicious sender. Always take a look at who's sending that to you. See who that is that's bringing it out. Yeah, now you're playing it up. Yeah, it cracked me up, Mark.
Got something to say?
Anyway, okay, I'll give you a 9 out of 10. How's that? Number 2, generic.
Suspicious sender. So, that, does everybody know how to tell what the sender is? Because a lot of times that is spoofed.
Yeah,
right?
it is. And so you have to look at the email, claimant
You have to dig in a little bit. You have to click on the sender and actually see where it's coming from.
Yeah.
And if it looks like it's coming from, what?
Say a .gov agency per se, right?
Yeah.
You can take a look and see.
.ru instead, or, which is Russia, or
right.
Or something like that. Then let me tell you, just running some websites, we fend off a lot of attacks, and the spam and all that kind of stuff. That's after it gets through all the filters, right?
Yeah. Yeah, and of course, you have those filters. We have things to help us out with technology to take a look and help evade some of these attacks that we get. Generic or strange greetings, that comes through often. Something that's just very simple. Hello, could be something to watch out for.
Right.
So you got to really dig in and take a look.
Right.
Right.
That's why you never answer your phone hello, too, by the way.
Poor grammar and spelling errors. Yeah, this happens, especially with spell check nowadays, right? We have all these things to help us out with our grammar and our spelling.
How your customers distinguish it then.
Hey, yeah. Yep. Get me going there. I got it.
Okay.
Urgency or threats. This happens a lot. You'll get those emails, you get those text messages that come through. Hey, contact your bank, X, Y, and Z, blah, blah, blah. Immediately there's been a transaction, and, take a look at that before you reply.
Yeah.
Or hit any of those links. Make sure that, I get this all the time from Bank of America. I don't have any accounts with Bank of America.
Right.
But I get these texts from them all the time. So I know somebody's attempting to get my information.
How many new debit cards have you had to order in the last year?
My wife's had to get a few. Yes.
Oh, you're going to blame it on her, huh?
That is her. Yes.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, no, she went on and she bought some products from a company, and
We don't need to hear the story.
it
That's
just
okay.
went through. But
it's all right.
the name of the company, of all things, was Life Lessons.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
So, yeah. That in itself was suspicious. She said, no, you're
Right.
purchasing from something called Life Lessons, and
Some of those police stings where they do the roundup and they have the obvious name,
yeah,
and the stupid criminals show up anyway.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
you've seen those shows, right?
I have seen those shows. Yeah.
Hey, you want a television, and they show up to pick up their TV at some local apartment, not
Right.
even a store.
Right.
And bing, we got you.
And the name's not like Mr. Gotcha, but it's like that. It's like, something where if you thought about it for a minute, you'd know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So stop and think when you get those. Let's see here. Let's go down the list here. What's next? Unexpected attachments or links. That is so common nowadays.
Yeah.
If you're popping up your email and you see some sort of attachment or link, just don't click right away. Do your research, make sure it's coming from a true and trusted source and you're expecting it.
Right.
Request for personal information. This should be a no-brainer to a lot of people, but obviously it's working. They're using this tactic to get people's information.
Right.
So anytime somebody asks for your personal information, please check the source once again. Mismatch email addresses and links. We were just talking about that earlier. Check those email addresses.
Yep.
Unsolicited requests for payment or donations. Gosh, this was going on a lot during the last presidential election.
Yeah. Anything from the Democrat Party was fake. Never click on those links.
That's funny. Hey, Major Tom's chiming in once again. Being called a burn brain might actually be a compliment, especially if you're a pigeon. Pigeons process visual data 6 times faster than humans.
Cass, can you check that?
Let's fact check that one. Yeah. Bird brain.
I know, right? Well, I'm relying on Cass. We'll see what happens there.
So next we got fake invoices, order confirmations, or account alerts. We were just speaking about this too.
Right.
People are trying to get into your banking information. And so you will get these things. Hey, your fake
Your
invoice
account's going to be canceled if you don't act now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly. All of that out there. Hey, if it's too good to be true offers, this is the one my wife likes to dig into. Hey, that's great. I can save $400 and buy that now.
I can buy a
Yeah.
gold bar for $50.
Yeah. And that will get you. Trust me.
Yep.
Impersonal or odd email formatting. I've seen some of this, not a whole lot of it, but that is true.
Yeah.
The way the emails look, they just look off. They don't look appropriate.
If your email reads like a set of instructions that you get from, say you buy a cabinet at Walmart and it shows you how to put it together and you get the little instructions. If the email reads like that, those same grammar guys. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Email spoofing. It looks real, but it isn't. This one I've seen often, especially in our industry. We get this quite often. It comes through where something looks like a very legit email. I had one come through for Verizon at one point in time, and it looked to the T.
Yeah.
Except for a few little details that at first glance you go, oh, it's Verizon. But when you take a moment, step back and truly read into it, you'd realize, no, this is not. No contact information or generic signatures. That's pretty straightforward.
Right.
Double check, make sure the contacts are the people you want to speak to.
Right.
Strange attachments. This does happen too. Anytime you see an attachment, you should stop and question it before opening.
Right.
What else we got there?
Compromised sender accounts. So this happens a lot. I've seen it online, like on Facebook. I'll get a message and somebody will say, Facebook has been hacked. If you get a friend request from me, it's not me. What they really mean is it's not hacked. Somebody's created a fake account with all the person's pictures, and then they present as that person.
Yeah.
And try and get all the friends to join.
This happens a lot. I have it right now on my Facebook. I can pop it up. I can show you. I got a friend request from somebody who I get all the time repeatedly because he keeps getting hacked over and over again.
Yeah.
My brother, for instance, the other day, my brother never posts on Facebook, right? Never. And all of a sudden I get a Facebook request from him.
Yeah.
So I stopped and I'm like, hey, called him. Hey, Ryan, what's going on? And come to find out, he did finally get a Facebook account, but only because his vehicle was stolen. So he thought maybe if he put it out there, it would help find it.
Okay.
So, says found the answer.
Yeah, I found the answer.
Here we go.
Google's AI says pigeons can process visual information significantly faster than humans. Some studies suggest their brains can process visual information up to 3 times faster.
3 times faster. Wow.
Talk about things that don't make any sense. I'm not buying it.
No?
Nope. I'm not buying the 10 bits a second, and I'm not buying that either.
Well, it could be fake, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe Cass is getting scammed over there.
Maybe you all had a little thing set up to try and throw that out there, and
I don't think so.
yeah,
No.
I
wouldn't
put it
do that
past
to you. I would not do that to
baloney,
you.
You wouldn't.
I mean, if you think about it, though, they are a prey type animal, so they kind of have to be quick with it.
That's true. I could buy that.
Of course you could.
I could buy that.
I'm not.
You're not buying that?
Nope. Nope.
Wouldn't do that to you. So just saying. So anyway,
It's a nice try, though, Dotson. Really.
Down here to protect yourself, do not click links or download attachments. Verify with the sender directly using a known contact method. Report phishing emails to your email provider. Mark it as spam or delete it, and check official company websites instead of clicking on the links. So just be aware. We're all using this technology, and so are the bad guys out there.
Right.
And especially now with AI, the more it's coming into play, it's going to be used in this manner a lot more too.
Right.
So,
Yep.
cool. Let's get a little bit of fake news information here. Let's go number 2. Fake news is all over the place. And so this is a nice little, shows 8 types of fake news. And
right.
start on this one.
For fun, a couple of sites, The Onion being one.
Yep.
Babylon Bee, my favorite.
That is a funny site.
Yeah, Babylon Bee is awesome. The Onion's just not funny anymore.
No, at one point in time it was.
I mean, you have
some
to be
good
like
writing there.
ultra
but-
left for The Onion to be funny.
Yeah.
But Babylon Bee has stuff for everybody.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah.
Covers all.
It doesn't, it doesn't play games,
Yeah.
except that it's playing games. It's pretty clever, some of the stuff.
Yeah, it does
Yep.
get you thinking.
Yep.
Confusing. A lot of times the fake news that is out there can be confusing. Why? And it's because, again, we're trying to process what we believe to be true or not. And so they want you to, to think that it's true.
Right.
So it becomes very opinionated and in that way.
So imposture. So is that supposed to be imposter?
Imposter.
Or somebody with bad posture?
Hey, it could go either way, right?
Yeah. Yep. No, somebody. So I have an app on my phone that lets you make fake tweets. So you can actually put the person, you can put their blue check, you can put date, time, you can put how many likes there was on the tweet. You create the tweet, and then you can screenshot it or download it as a JPEG, and it lets you control every facet of the tweet. So you can make somebody say something
that
isn't there.
And we've seen some of that, especially with the last presidential election. We did actually see quite a bit of that taking place.
And I've done that where I've taken, somebody puts a screenshot up there of a tweet. I immediately go to their account and look, or whether it's tweet, True Social, Facebook post, I immediately go to the account and see if I can find it. If I can't find it, didn't happen.
Yeah, it's crazy. 100% invented. Yeah, but that's the problem. Do you know what's invented or not until you do your research sometimes?
Right.
You know,
mean, again,
you got to take a look.
you know, there's some things that are obvious. And then we talked about earlier the filters that we look, you know, the lens at which we review things. And there's no way that everybody, I mean, what did P.T. Barnum say? There's a sucker born every minute.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
no, it's true.
Sometimes it's the bigger the lie, the more people believe it. Right.
Yeah. Yeah, that is crazy. Speaking of which, did you hear that story that came out? I think it was yesterday in regards to fiber optic cabling. Well, you know, our brain works on patterns of waves, right? Taking in these signals. Well, they're actually finding out on, I think it's the OM4, the latest version of OM4 that's come out, that the closer that you are to the fiber optic cabling, it is actually picking up distortion from those brain waves coming from your head into the beam and causing
you're smirking.
disruption.
You can't even sell it, man.
I can't.
You really tried.
He did.
You got to
You
try.
tried.
You know? But anyway, yeah, it's 100% invented. You know, you just got to watch yourself out there.
Yeah. Or, you know, how can you tell if John's lying? His lips are moving. Right?
There you go. That's 100% invented, bro.
Yeah, 10 bits per second.
That is true. Every one of you can check it out. It is 10 bits per second.
Okay.
That is the truth.
Okay.
Yeah. Scout's honor.
Okay.
I mean, Google never lies, right?
Right?
Google, yeah,
Ever?
Facebook never lies
like,
either.
never lies.
So false link. So you can actually type words that say one thing, but the link goes to something else.
Correct. I've seen this happen before.
Yep.
Yeah.
So you can type in https://msn.com, and behind that link you can put, you know, one of John's favorite sites. I won't do it. It's a family show.
Oh gosh, yeah, no, don't do that.
Yeah. But you can hide it. So just because something says it doesn't mean that's where it goes.
Exactly.
Right.
You know, how do you actually look into that?
Right click on it to review the hyperlink.
Yep.
You can copy the hyperlink. You can paste it into a notepad, paste it as a value only, look at it and see where it actually sources to.
Cool. Yeah.
Yep.
False context. Yep. There we go.
That's what we call a partial quote.
Yeah.
Yeah,
They take
so
this
soundbite.
this much of
Right.
material and give you this.
Like there were good people on both sides.
No.
That's not the whole quote.
No. That is that much out of that much.
Yeah.
So they give you partials, and in doing so, it mislead you and misguide you into what the truth really is.
Right.
And that actually goes back into the next one, manipulation.
Authentic information or images are manipulated toward deceiving the reader.
Yep.
So you can take information, you can take a news event, and you can accentuate only part of the story.
Yeah.
You know, instead of the you know, seeing the whole picture.
And then propaganda, right?
Yes.
Deceiving information with the
We just
aim
got
of
done with 4
promoting
years of
political
propaganda.
cause. I know.
Yeah.
This is where
Everybody should be
politics gets
well
involved.
aware of propaganda by now.
It's out there for sure.
Yeah.
But it's fading down because we're over the election.
Yeah.
You know,
No,
you don't
it's
see this
it's
as
still
much.
going. It's just now it's
in the
hitting the
background.
streets and you know, all of the protests and everything. It's all propaganda.
So to show you an example of this fake news, can you pull up picture number 4? And take a look at this breaking news about you know, famous actor Brad Pitt. This came right off of a Facebook post.
Yeah.
So we see this all the time, and you've probably seen this.
Oh yeah, the other
several
day
times.
I saw something about Larry Fitzgerald signing a $100 million contract with the Arizona Cardinals
Yeah.
to come back to football. No, that didn't
Not
happen.
going to happen.
No, not
Not going
happening.
to happen. But
Yep.
yeah, we see this all the time where, oh my God, because why?
Yep.
Because people are sucked into celebrities, and it makes big news when someone unfortunately passes away.
Now with stuff like this, you know, when I see something like that, I immediately go to the comments. I don't click on it. I just go to the comments and I start reading
Yeah.
all the suckers that did click on the thing and warning everybody else. Right?
Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, that's a good example of what we're talking about. All of that fake news coming together and giving you an idea of what that looks like. So, yeah. Hey, Jesse, you guys over there, you guys ever run into this? You ever been caught by a scam? Ever had issues with fake news you believed in?
Never.
Hold on.
Aaron's a big no, huh?
Put Aaron over there.
Never, ever, ever.
Never,
Never,
ever. No one ever sold
No?
you those blue shoes that match your blue shirt?
My wife picked them up.
Hey, you're pulling the dots in there. Blame my wife.
Blame the wife. How about you?
There
Cass?
was an email though. This was back when I was working at hospice. There was an email from somebody who was like a higher up, and I'd never like heard from him ever in my entire life. And apparently everybody had gotten it, and a couple people clicked on it. I was not one of them because I'd never heard of him before and I'd
Yeah.
never seen him before. And I was like, this is weird. Why would you message me? Because I work in facilities. But they really tried. Didn't
Yeah.
work though.
Nick tries to get us here every once in a while.
He does.
Yeah, I had
Yeah.
one just the other day saying I was the #1 employee of Gruber and click on a link to receive a gift card. I mean, kind of
Well, we know
obvious,
that's a
but-
joke.
Yeah, I'm #2. I'm sorry. Steve
did-
Robinson's #1.
Your favorite number.
I did
Ask
buy.
quick trip.
I did buy the Prince of Algeria 2,500
that got him.
Bitcoin
Look,
the
he
other
turned
day.
really red there.
What was that, Aaron?
Oh, I said I did send the Prince of Algeria 2,500 Bitcoin the other day. That was pretty legit.
You got
Yes.
scammed on that one, did you? What about you, Jesse?
I have not been scammed, but a couple things to note. What you were saying, how you go into the comments to kind of see the reaction. You can definitely do that as a way of determining, like you said, but engaging with the posts like that will get you more posts like that. So as soon as
really?
you go in
Okay.
and you spend time on that post or you click into the comments section,
Right.
all that's being tracked. So they're gonna feed you similar content. So that's one thing to remember. And then the other thing is, these are all everything you guys have talked about so far are going to get much more sophisticated with AI.
Right.
So you got to pay attention to that. There's stories. Pete, our CEO, his neighbor had a situation where an elderly woman, her grandkid called her, or she thought her grandkid called her, and she came over to ask Pete to give her a ride to the bank to go do this like money transaction thing.
Ooh.
Oh,
And it turned out to be an AI scam using the voice of one of her grandkids pulled from her Facebook account.
Wow.
that's wild.
Have you heard about the mugs that were supposed to look like rocks, basically? So they were like gem mugs, but the videos of them were all AI, and people were like going around and buying them as if they were real. And people in the comments were like, those are fake, those are fake. And it was like this huge scam.
Wow.
And they were sending like really poorly made mugs instead of like the AI ones that people thought they were going to get.
Right.
But again, it was a huge scam.
Right.
Well, and that goes down to, again, for us being the consumers that we are, purchasing everything online nowadays.
Yeah. If there's nobody to stand behind the product, though, if it's not
Yeah.
a Walmart or a Costco or an
Amazon. Yeah.
if there's nobody to stand behind the product, then, because there are plenty of them out there. I'm sure you've all seen it where, I used to sell it on Amazon, but I want to go direct to market,
Yeah.
instead and save the consumer money. Yeah.
No, and that's why you got to, purchase from a trusted source.
Yep.
Do your homework. Make sure you're safe in the decisions you're making, whether it's clicking an email link or making a purchase online, or simply passing judgment by reading, an article in the news or Facebook or something of that nature.
Right. Well, Jesse, what'll happen if I look at the comments and then I hit the 3 dots and I report it as spam?
So that depends on the platform you're on. So a lot of what especially with Elon now taking over X, Twitter, and that one, he specifically has said in space that you want to block those people specifically. So,
Right.
But if you can report it, I actually don't know how that affects your algorithm, but it will definitely affect that account specifically.
Right.
Wow. So let me understand this straight, because I'm not in that technical world as, Jesse is. Jesse, so you're saying that we all each have our individual algorithm that they're tracking?
Yes. Yeah,
Wow.
every single user has their own, and this is all done by AI. They're not manually tuning it to you, but all those things are factors. So how long you stay on a post, how long you engage with it and look at the comments, whether you like it, whether you share it, whether you repost it, send it to anybody, any of that stuff. All of those are indicators to keep feeding you that kind of content.
Who makes the decision on that? I know
It's
AI
a
is
what,
there, but
not a who.
The what?
It's a what, not a who.
What? But somebody had to develop that and say, listen, this has to go X, Y, and Z down the road.
Right. Well, their developers do, right?
So are they selling this information then? I'm sure they are.
Yeah, I mean, that's what happens when you see those big data leaks where all that information comes out. That's usually stuff that then gets sold on the dark web.
Yeah. I mean, it kind of is no different from what they're doing at the grocery store when they ask you to scan your little card to get a discount. They're tracking all your purchases and what you're doing.
Yep.
I mean, it's been going on for a very long time. But knowing that it's going to be basically upgraded and sophisticated in the level of where the nature of how they're going to present this to you, you have to be and do your due diligence. You have to be aware of this.
Well, it also works in your favor too, because that's why you get relevant ads. That's why you're, as a man, you're not getting ads for women's products, right? Because they know.
Well, you can speak for yourself, but not John.
Wow.
Ouch.
Okay, I'll let you. You owe me a dig. I get it.
One, haven't you learned anything by now?
This will go on for like 2 weeks.
Yeah, it will. Yeah, I mean, it's you're right, and specific content is better than generic content.
Yeah.
But all right, so we've kind of reached our time. John, tell us about next week. What do we got? I got something special going on next week.
Do you have a thumbnail for next week and show up? Next week we have a special guest coming on. Actually, one of my family members.
Yeah.
Matthew Pigeon.
We let him on anyway.
Yeah, we are. But he's an award-winning artist and does, it's just amazing, the archery that he does, the painting that he does. Here we go. There's a picture of Matthew, cool, and look at his paintings in the background there. But he's going to join us. We're going to talk about AI and the relevance of
his stuff's not AI. His stuff is hand to brush, brush to canvas.
Yeah, very talented, extremely talented. But we're going to get in and talk about the art world and AI and how that's all coming together and the pros and cons of it.
Awesome. Well, we're going to be. We're going to be glad to have him.
Yeah,
I know we've got a few special shows coming up over the next several weeks.
Oh, we do. We've got a lineup coming up.
Yeah, we got some guests. So please make sure to join us. Like, subscribe, and share this podcast. We appreciate you being out there every Thursday at 3:00 or catching us later on the replay. For now, I'm Mark Beach.
John Dotson, and thank you.
Have a great one.